Urgent. The suspense is over, and what Ohio State did in the transfer market is simply absolutely unbelievable. For weeks, the fan base was caught in a mix of anxiety, fear, and frustration. Social media was on fire, forums were exploding, analysts were split down the middle. One big question echoed throughout Columbus. Did Ohio State lose control of the portal? But now, the truth is finally out. And get ready, what you're about to discover completely changes the landscape of college football. Nothing happened by accident, nothing was improvised. While everyone was looking in one direction, Ohio State was working in the shadows. The result? A plan so cold, so calculated, and so efficient that it left even their rivals silent. Take a deep breath, because what they did, nobody expected. The concern wasn't exaggerated, it wasn't fan panic. It was real fear. Ohio State has always been synonymous with depth, a roster so stacked that when one player went down, another just as talented stepped in. But college football has changed, and it changed fast. The days when five-star players were willing to wait 2 or 3 years on the bench are completely over. Now, if you don't play, you leave. If you don't see a clear path, you transfer. And that's exactly what started happening. Departures here, rumors there, social media melting down. Suddenly, Ohio State's future in the portal became a massive question mark. Analysts began asking the unthinkable. Can Ohio State still dominate in this new era? The stress was everywhere, on campus, behind the scenes, across sports media. For the first time in years, Ohio State looked like it was reacting, not controlling the narrative. But that was only what everyone could see. Behind the scenes, something much bigger was taking shape. While everyone expected the worst, Ohio State was working in total silence. No panic press conferences, no desperate promises, no intentional leaks, just cold, calculated decision-making. The truth is simple and shocking. Ohio State didn't try to survive the new portal era, they chose to master it. The program understood something most teams missed. In modern college football, value isn't just stars. Value is development, experience, fit, maturity. Players who weren't guaranteed starters in a loaded Ohio State roster suddenly became incredibly valuable across the country because they were developed by elite coaches inside one of the most respected programs in the sport. And Ohio State leveraged that perfectly. While others saw losses, the coaching staff saw strategic assets. Every departure created space, every open spot was planned, every addition was targeted with surgical precision. The result, a roster that's more balanced, more experienced, and above all, built to win right now. College football has changed, and anyone who hasn't realized that is already behind. Elite players want immediate exposure, immediate reps, immediate impact. And Ohio State didn't just understand that, they exploited it. With nationally respected coaches like Brian Hartline, the program turned player development into currency. 1 year under the right staff can turn a player into one of the most valuable names in the portal. At the same time, Ohio State attacked the market intelligently. Experienced players, physically mature, with real college football mileage, grown men, players who don't need time, they need opportunity. That combination created something rare. A roster that's young where it needs explosiveness and experienced where it needs stability. Nothing was rushed, nothing was random, everything was part of a much bigger plan. And this is where the real bombshell drops. Ohio State didn't just survive the transfer portal, they weaponized it. With the new rule limiting transfers to one single window, the coaching staff pulled off something brilliant. During spring practices, they completely scrambled the depth chart. Starters practiced with backups, backups got reps with starters. No clear hierarchy except for undeniable elite talent. The psychological effect was massive. Players believed there was still opportunity. Decisions were delayed, transfers were avoided. And when the window finally closed, Ohio State had something most programs didn't: total roster control. That's when the names started coming in, the names nobody expected. Connor Hawkins arrived to fix a quiet but deadly issue: points left on the field. In big games, missed kicks cost wins, and a reliable kicker completely changes late-game strategy. Terry Moore brought leadership, calm, and experience to the secondary, a player who understands communication, positioning, and accountability, the type of presence that stabilizes an entire unit. James Smith became the answer to one of the defense's biggest needs, an interior lineman who eats double teams, disrupts passing lanes, and keeps linebackers clean, the kind of player that changes games without flashy stats. Russell added versatility and chaos, a modern defender who can line up in multiple roles, pressure quarterbacks, and confuse offenses. In an aggressive system, his upside is terrifying. And then came Welsing, the name no one had at the top of the list. Ohio State has always been dangerous when tight ends are properly utilized, and Welsing fits that mold perfectly. Physical, reliable, versatile, a nightmare for defenses that don't know whether he's blocking or catching. What Ohio State did wasn't just roster building, it was a masterclass in modern program management, market awareness, and future-proofing a powerhouse. The impact isn't theoretical, it will be felt on the field, week after week. And when it happens, many will realize the game was lost long before kickoff. Now I want to hear from you. Was this Ohio State strategy genius or too risky? Do these names really turn the Buckeyes into a nightmare for opponents? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Share this video with any fan who still doesn't understand what just happened. Because one thing is certain, what's coming next, nobody expected.